Welcome back. You're watching On the Record with me, Shereen Bhan, and I'm in conversation with DLF's KP Singh. Talk to you about the other love in your life, and that is DLF. Right. And you spoke about how the company is now being helmed by the third and the fourth generation, and it still lives by the values that you believe it was set up with. But there's been many controversies over the last 70 plus years. I don't need to recount them. You're fully aware of them. We've had conversations about your run-ins with Bansi Lal for no fault of yours. To, of course, what happened as far as the Robert Vadra matter was concerned, where there are FIRs, the matter is in court, a commission was set up, etc. What have been the big learnings there as far as a real estate company operating in India within the parameters of the law, but also having run-ins with political parties, politicians? What's been the big lesson?
Big learning is, which I practiced. First, you never get involved in any business relationship with any politician. You should have politicians as your friends, well-wishers. But you should yourself not be in politics. I had one chance in '84 when the whole village community, that I bought the land, and the biggest success, they all came in a unanimous choice for member of parliament. So I talked to my late father-in-law. He said, "Beta, ek hi kaam nahi karna. Politics and business don't go together." So I was frankly slightly tempted, because the whole unopposed I would have been. But for what? DLF would not have come there, the same thing. So I decided, no, two things will not. We will do our business with political friends, as we do with good relationship, well-wishers, but never cross the line. DLF has, I can tell you, please take it from me, we have never crossed the line of doing business against any law. What happens is, media needs some masala to bring things out.
Well, it's not just the media, sir. I mean, to be fair.
No, please, argue with me. Let me ask you a question from you, to me. Let me say this, and I say again, in my productive life, I have never knowingly broken a law. I'm known to be a compliant freak. I am by nature. Secondly, yes, my whole life is built on relationship. I have relationship with every level of governance, whether bureaucrats, in the highest society abroad. You can imagine, from the best, highest aristocracy in England and everything. I have friends in India. So friendship is my base, how I've gone through, not by doing anything else. So if somebody says, oh, DLF has done wrong, it is just a fiction of imagination. Now, when you come around, it is also, you should know that when you grow up in life, law of gravity is such that they will pull you down, and in any case, so many people being jealous and all kinds, they will throw a story, but you keep your journey of going up, and everything falls the wayside if you are right. And I can tell you today, my late father-in-law, myself, my son, and the fourth generation, his daughter doing it, we are absolutely compliant on these things. Now, some people can make stories. Ask me stories.
So you're saying that you've always knowingly not broken any law, but there have been instances, even when it comes back to the IPO, for instance, and there was a SEBI order, which of course then got overturned by SAT, but there was a SEBI order which barred you from accessing the capital markets, which penalized you and 6 other senior executives of the company as well. So today, as you look back, are there things now that you believe are non-negotiable? For instance, you said that there will be no dealings with politicians of any kind. So do you regret the deal done with Robert Vadra?
Not at all. This is not regret. My God, without that, DLF would have lost massive money. Please understand the business first. You've got nothing to do. By the way, I've only played one day golf. I don't know the gentleman. Robert Vadra is a businessman. He's not a politician at that time, by the way. Businessman, basically they know how to make money, not how to lose. So in our business, it's very easy. I must have made maybe 40, 50 10 times millionaires than what does. Because what happens is, when you buy land, please understand this, lands are fragmented pieces. And when you buy when you try to develop, all our plan is on public domain in the town planning office. Anybody can go. So any smart person, and not 50 other people did the same. What they do, that they go, they hire one retired town planner, retired tehsildar, patwari, and one hustler. Nothing else. This is the 3-4 organization. Do nothing. What they do, they go to the town planner website, find out where is, for example, DLF or Unitech or Ansals, wherever the private side development is going on, where is the layout? A town planner will tell you the road has to go, it can't go this way. Road will have to go this way. The gate entrance is this. So all in front of the gate, if somebody buys some land in front of you, your whole thing becomes 50% depreciation. Somewhere in the middle of the area it comes around, road cannot pass through. So we then do, we have to compulsorily buy those pockets of land, and smart people buy land, sit on it, do nothing. Patwari goes around, gets the shajra, they go around, give the, more money to this, do nothing. They keep on waiting till such time that when we grow, we have to acquire the land. Without that, government doesn't acquire the land for us. So in the case of Mr. Vadra, simple, he's a businessman. He bought land because he knew where the developments are going on. That land was very vital for us. So our principle always is, if we pay X to somebody, we must make profit of 2X. Simple. You're not lost, profit 2X. Besides, remove a menace from the place, because if somebody sits on our head, like take my house, and say if somebody has unauthorized jhuggi jhopadi on my gate, my value will go down. So the development of a township is a very complicated process. If you leave it, I give you a little example, you'll be understanding it. DLF Center, you've been there?
Yes,
no? DLF Center, I remember in 90 it started. It was, we had all tenants sitting there. So we negotiated with every tenant. We gave them 10 to 15 lakhs, nothing else, to vacate. Most people vacated. But there was one pawn shop, a little pawn shop, educated guy, and I used to do, this is all done by me personally. So, and I don't take pawn, by the way. So I used to, agent will go, so one day he comes around, के साहब देखिए, KP साहब, वो बड़ा sophisticated है कि दुकान तो मेरी है, अब मुझे पता है आपने 10-15 लाख सबको दिए, उन दिनों की बात कर रहा हूँ, मुझको तो चाहिए 1 करोड़ रुपए इस पान शॉप का. That damn thing was only a little shop. अब ठीक है मुझे निकाल दो, go to court, मैं कोर्ट में फाइट करता. He knew very well that we cannot afford to go to court because court in India is 20 years process. So we have to pay. So we paid him this much money. And thank God we paid, our building came up. So in a real estate business, if some pockets of land come, which are either defacing your entry or inside, you have to buy them irrespective of who they are. So we don't know, water, nobody, there are 20 people come around like this. There is no politics in it. Question is, when we bought the land, have we made money? I think we must make 2-3x.
Sure.
So this is if you were in my position, what would you do if you developed a township? Would you let somebody else sit on my head? And the more you sit, the more price will go up. So what is politics about it? It's only made completely distortion of facts by politicians who started giving speeches, and by then media picked up. And as you know, DLF policy we never respond to a media critic. We never say, I mean, this is like so many things that keep on happening. We do our job right. So I can tell you conclusively, there was not even 0.1% irregularity in any business dealing which we had. So wrongly completely explained. That they were inquired today. And number two, but yes, for media it is a good thing. Blow up. तो हमको फर्क नहीं पड़ता, हम तो we are used to it.
But, you know, I want you to go back to the days of the IPO, because I do know that that was a very difficult and challenging period, a great degree of uncertainty. And then, of course, what transpired post that is a different story. But relive that time period for me. What do you think?
Can you imagine,
Yeah.
if you want to know IPO? IPOs are generally 10 times checked in by lawyers, because the IPO documents are such. We as business people know, we engage lawyers to do accounting firms, everything. They do everything completely, everything carried out by them. So it's a question of whatever they say, and they have given us in certification that yes, everything is disclosed. If we say something left out disclosed, there's nothing called not disclosed. It pertains to some gentleman, as I said, who you find a lot of crooked characters in land. When you purchase land, they want to blackmail you. So they ask you some exorbitant price and we don't pay. We don't pay. So issue is simple is, for example, say one thing we would have paid him earlier, which was going our stated policy. So he went to SEBI, went around, went to Supreme Court. हमने तो कोई गलती नहीं की. Because we got all lawyers, everybody said this is in accordance, there is nothing which we are not disclosed. So it's a better subjudice. देखिए, business करने में, there will be no successful business unless you have people hitting at you. So the thing is how you respond and you keep going up.
We are going to take a break, but we continue our conversation with DLF's KP Singh right after this.